You're listening to Good Morning Gwinnett, a division of ABK Media Group, hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney, sharing stories about people and places around beautiful Gwinnett County every day at 9 a.m. Southern living at its best.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to another episode of Good Morning Gwinnett. I'm your host, Audrey Bell Kearney. So happy to be here with you this morning. Glad to see you made it up. Glad that I made it up. So here we are back again, bright and early. Listen, I got a good episode to talk to you about today. I had the opportunity yesterday to go to a food tasting, and it was just so cool what I saw there. And I'm going to talk about, the power of collaborating and what I learned about collaboration from a food tasting. But before I do that, of course, I want to give my shout out to the nonprofit of this morning, People Helping People. That's what I do. I try to do it at the top of the show every morning, every episode, to just shine the spotlight on organizations that are helping people in our community. And this particular shout out goes out to Uniting Hope for Children. And what they do is they look for foster parents, for children that need foster parents and foster homes. And I think that's really such a nice mission that they have, empowering families to care for children. They train parents who want to be foster parents so that when there's a need for a child to have a home, a nice, safe, and clean home, that these people are trained properly to bring them into their home. Some people have never had children before, so even though you may be around children, but if you've never had children before, then you may need a little bit of training to help you acclimate yourself to being a parent, and also to make sure that the children are safe. Now, I could tell you, my mother and I, we went to a training class. This was a long time ago. This is before I had my daughter, so we're talking over 27 years. We went to a training to become foster parents, and believe it or not, you really do need a trainer, because you got to remember something. The children that are coming to you are children who have been possibly abused, have been, they have all kinds of issues, and if you don't know how to deal with those type of children, you're in for a lot of work. So it's really important. And I remember going to the class with my mom, because she was like, you know what, our doors have always been open to pretty much anybody who needed a place to stay. And she wanted to get foster children because she worked at the youth correctional facilities in Newark, and so she had an opportunity to talk to a lot of the teenagers that were inside the youth house, and she would ask them, what are you doing here? And a lot of times they would say things like, my grandmother is raising me, and I know she need help, and so I was out there trying to help her, by selling drugs or breaking in cars or whatever it was. It was so they could survive, right? And my mom has a really soft heart for people. I mean, really soft. Like, she's a little tough and a little rough around the edges sometimes, but she has a really soft heart for people. So she convinced me to go and take this class with her to become a foster parent. But when we went through that class, it let us know right away that we were not equipped to be foster parents. I know I wasn't. I was not equipped for it. She had been working in the system for quite a long time with children, with youth who had, got in trouble and had to go to the youth house. Not me. I didn't have any children. I had never really been around really troubled children. And so I was shocked at the things that they were saying in the class. And I said to my mom, I probably had to be 22 years old. I was like, yeah, I'm not equipped to do this. Like, I'm just not equipped to take on, not only am I taking on children, I'm taking on children who have so many different problems. I wasn't equipped. I was in my early 20s. I might have been 22 years old, so I wasn't ready to be a foster parent. But there are people out there who are ready to be foster parents, and Uniting Hope for Children is an organization that help you if you want to become a foster parent, to be one. They give you the training that you need and the support that you need to help you carry out their mission, and also to help children that are in need of a loving family. So if you want to work with them, or you want to find out how you can become a foster parent, or if you want to donate to the cause, that all nonprofits are always open to taking monetary donations, because that helps them further the mission along. Uniting Hope for Children is located in Loganville, 1949 Howard 81, Suite 300, Loganville, Georgia, 30052. Their number is 678-985-4686. Again, that's 678-585-4686. And you can go to their website at UH4C.org. U as in under, H as in Henry, 4, C as in Charlie.org. Uniting Hope for Children. Okay, that's my shout out to what's going on there. What did I have for you today? So I gotta listen. So I was checking out the Gwinnett Daily Post, and there's a gentleman now. I'm probably gonna talk about this again. My mom watched The Price is Right every day. Like, that's one of her things. At 11 o'clock, The Price is Right come on. So she watched Wendy. She watched Kelly and Ryan first at 9, and she watches Wendy at 10, and then she watches The Price is Right at 11, and she watches Days of Our Lives at 1 o'clock. So that's her rundown for the day. But she watches The Price is Right every day, and she knows the prices of things, and she knows how the game works. Well, there's a gentleman who lives in Beaufort. He and his wife were celebrating their 25th anniversary in Los Angeles, and the story just came out. Apparently, this happened late last year, but the story just came out in the Gwinnett Daily Post yesterday. And his name is Bruce Smith. He's from Beaufort, Georgia, celebrating his 25th wedding anniversary, he and his wife. And while he was there, they decided to just stop by some game shows and see how everything works. And so The Price is Right was one of those shows that they decided to stop by, and he made out like a bandit. He walked out of there with a boat. He had a trip. He had 95 pounds of steak. I think he had a smart TV or something. He made out like a bandit, he and his wife, because they just happened to stop by the game show and see how the whole thing works. So that was pretty funny. I didn't even know you could just drop in like that. I know I was at I went to, when Queen Latifah had her show, the Queen Latifah show, I was an audience member, but I didn't know you could, but I think I got an invite or something. I don't even remember, but anyway, they weren't giving out anything. So now that I know you can just drop in, I might go and drop in on Steve Harvey. I think that's filmed down here in Georgia, so, or the Family Feud, I don't know. But anyway, congratulations to Bruce Smith and his wife, and happy anniversary, happy 25th anniversary. That kicked off your new year in a big way right there, so congratulations on that. There are a lot of times we are looking for office space for things when we have a business, right? So I found out about, I had to go in, I got braces. That's why I'm always kind of stuck when I'm talking. I have braces. But before I got my braces, I wanted to get Invisaligns, right? And so I made an appointment with Smile Direct Club, because I said, okay, these guys are advertising on television, and it's invisible. I don't have to worry about the wires and all that kind of thing. So I called Smile Direct. They set me up an appointment to go into a location. Now, the thing about Smile Direct is you have to go into a location. They're going to scan your mouth. And then once they scan your mouth, they're going to send those images in. They're going to have these invisible trays to put your teeth in place sent to you. But what happened was, when I went to the location, I thought I was going to a dentist's office, right? And so it said, we're inside of, I want to say it was called JV Salons. And I'm like, they got the dentist place inside a salon? So that's what I'm thinking to myself. So I went to Atlanta, and when I pulled up, I was like, why would they have a dental office inside of a salon, right? So that's what I'm thinking to myself. But anyway, I got out the car and I went into the car. I went into the building, and to my surprise, when I went inside the building, there were these small little spaces that was occupied by barbershops, beauticians, nail technicians, and of course the dental place, Smile Direct. So they had 2 suites inside of this suites. Like, it was like a little mini mall for business owners, which I thought was really, really cool. I had never seen anything like that. And so I walked around the whole of the building after I got my teeth scanned and everything. They gave me my little free kit. I wanted to see what else was in there. And it was like a spa was in there. A massage therapist was in there. Really, really cool. And what was so cool about it, it all kind of fit together. So you may have a barber, you had a beautician, you had someone that did nails, you had someone that worked on your teeth, you had someone that gave you massages. And I want to say it was probably about 24 suites inside of this building, 24 private suites inside of the buildings, and each one of these business owners had their own suite inside the building. Now, Smile Direct had 2 suites because they had one where they had their staff taking in people and doing intake, and then they had the other one where they had the scanning machine to scan your teeth or whatever. But I thought that was so cool. So, and it was inside of a shopping plaza, so that's what kind of threw me off, because I'm inside like a strip mall, and I'm thinking, why in the world would a dental office be inside a salon? I thought that was kind of crazy. But it wasn't just a salon, it was a suite. And they called it, I want to say it was JV Salon Suites or something like that, or JS Salon Suites or something like that. But anyway, I'll tell you the whole story to tell you that there is a new co-working suite opening up right here in Peachtree Corners, right in Gwinnett. It's called My Salon Suite. It's opening in Peachtree Corners. And here's a good thing about it. It's very similar to the one I was just talking about. It's going to be able to house you if you are a beauty or health professional. And so when I say beauty, if you do like laser hair removal, that may be a perfect fit for you. If you do like skin pills and chemical pills and things like that, that's probably going to be a good spot for you. If you do hair or nails or massages or teeth, that's probably going to be a good space for you. And it's so cool because what I've learned is that the rents in those spaces are very affordable. And so with My Salon Suites, not only are they going to give you a beautiful space that's affordable, but they're also going to help you with the marketing, right? Which is huge for any business owner. If you have a business and you're not marketing, you're dying. So if they're going to help you with the marketing, that is great. And I see a lot more of these type of situations coming aboard. I think I told you guys about a few weeks ago, I was at Improve USA, which is something very similar. But the difference between that one and this one is that Improve allows you to actually buy your suite. You don't have to lease it, but you have to buy it. Now, here's the thing. That's a lot more expensive than getting a lease at a small space inside of like a My Salon. If you're going to buy a condo inside of a home improvement mall, it's going to be like buying a condo that you're going to live in, except for your business is going to live there. And hell, I don't know. Some of you may have to live in there because I think it's going to be pretty expensive. But you will be an owner. At My Salon, it's 5,100 square feet. They're going to have 26 luxury suites that you'll be able to lease out. If you are in, if you do hair, if you do nails, if you're a spa specialist, if you do chemical pills, if you do laser hair removal, if you do bikini waxes, you just may want to check out My Salon because it's going to be really nice, especially if you're looking to branch out this year. I'm looking to branch out this year. I'm very excited about that. I'm looking to move into the studios, and so hopefully I can find something very similar. I'm not I don't do anything in the health industry, but I do Good Morning Gwinnett every day, and maybe I have to go and move in and just do the show live from the suites. That's a thought. Didn't think about it till right now. All right, so if you want more information about My Salon Suites because you're thinking about moving into a space this year, you can reach them at 678-242-9897. That's My Salon Suites, 678-242-9897. Or you can go to mysalonsuites.com/peachtree-corners-html. Again, that's mysalonsuites.com/peachtree-corners.html. All right. So listen, yesterday I had the opportunity to go to a food tasting at 550 Trackside here in Lawrenceville, Georgia. And, and I went because my husband he's a cook, he's a caterer. In his authentic life, he is a cook and a caterer. That's what he does in his authentic life. In his professional life, he works in medicine. But he's always cooking stuff. And I said to him, we should go to this food tasting so you can kind of, see if there's a way for you to partner with these guys or see how everything is laid out. And so he thought it was a good idea, but it was so cold and so drab yesterday. So we kind of laid around most of the day. And at the very, very last minute, I decided to go to the food tasting. He didn't go because he was home cooking. And so when I get to the food tasting, I didn't know what to expect. I'm expecting, like a caterer, with some food set up just for you to taste or whatever. Well, I was highly surprised When I got to that food tasting at 550 Trackside, the food tasting was hosted by Events by Design, and I'm talking about it was really, really nice. When I got there, the parking lot was packed, and I said to myself, is this an event space, or is this, I thought it was a restaurant because it was so many cars and I had to ride around for about 5 minutes to find a park. And when I got there and I walked inside, I just saw all these people, but I saw this elaborate layout of the most amazing looking food. I mean, just stuff that looks so delicious. And I was like, oh my goodness, I wanted to eat something, which I could have eaten. However, I had lobster waiting at home, so I did not eat at this event. But I wish I had went hungry, and I wish I had not had lobster, because had I not, I would have eaten. But here's the thing, and the reason I'm telling you this story is because if you want to be successful in business, you have to figure out a way to not be by yourself. You have to figure out a way to be a collaborative partner with someone, or bring on some team members. Now, I had the opportunity to speak to the young ladies who were hosting yesterday, and they say they do this quarterly, right? So when you go in there, not only did they have this spread of this amazing looking food, but they had a young lady there who decorated wedding cakes, which is perfect because I found out later on that there were a lot of brides in the room, and that's why they were there at the food tasting. And I'm assuming that I got invited because I'm in the media, which is great, because now here I am talking about this amazing event that was put on by eventsbydesign.com. And I will tell you a little bit more how to spell it and how to contact them. And I got a chance to talk to one of the brides, and she told me, she said, I came here. She didn't even come for the food. She came looking for a DJ, and she wound up finding a photographer. Now, that's why I'm talking about collaboration, because all of these people got together and they started to collaborate for this event that was amazing. When I went into the event, it looked like a wedding because everything was set up so beautifully. There was a DJ there. There was a guy singing live with his guitar. There was a minister there who performed wedding ceremonies. There was a cookie maker there. There was a cupcake maker there. There was another event planner there. There was the baker there. There was a photographer there. What else did I see? Photographer. I think someone was there that did wedding albums. It was a great collaboration. And here's the thing. They all got together so that they all could win, right? They all got together and they all decided to collaborate together because now everybody wins. It had to be at least 150 people there. And when I tell you it was one of those days where you just did not want to leave the house, I didn't want to leave, but something said, get up and go, Audrey. Check it out. See what it's about. Come back. Bring it to your husband. Let him know how it all went down. And it was an amazing event. And so you have to think about moving forward. What can you do to move your business forward? Who can you collaborate with? What collaborative partners can you guys can get together and benefit each other? Not someone that's in direct competition with you. And it could be because you may think that someone is in direct competition, but you may serve a totally different audience doing something very similar. Okay, so think about that for a second. But I just want to give you a few tips on what you can do if you are thinking about being a collaborative partner with someone. That was a great event yesterday. If you want to know more about Events by Design, it's Events by Design, and that's design with a Z, Dezine. I'm telling you, I was totally impressed with the event itself. The venue was beautiful. Trackside, if you haven't gone to 550 Trackside, check it out. The venue is beautiful. It's a big venue. Everything was just so pretty and laid out so nicely. And I was totally impressed by what I saw with the venue that was there, about the quality of people that was a part of this collaborative venture, about the food looked amazing. I did have a cookie, which was probably the worst thing I could have had, but the cookie was delicious. I don't even know who made the cookie. It was a dessert table in the back with just cookies, and I decided to have a sugar cookie, and it was so freaking good. And I'm really leery about eating sugar right now because sugar kind of makes me sick sometimes. But that cookie was good and it did not make me sick. So I'm kind of wondering what they actually put in it. Was it real sugar? But anyway, the cookie was great. Events by Design, design with the Z.com. Check them out. And if you want to know more about 550 Trackside, let me give you their website, because that place is pretty as well. And it's 550 North Clayton Street here in Lawrenceville, Georgia. You can check them out. If you're looking for a place to host your event, it's really, really pretty in there. And you can, if you have I'm not a designer, I'm not a decorator, but there was some event planners there, and an event planner can make a place beautiful. My daughter had a baby shower at this beautiful place over in Norcross back in October, and I'm not that person. So, but this place came with its own event planner and designer. So all we had to do was pay the money, which I was happy to pay the money, and when we got there, all we had to do was walk in and put out the favors. When I tell you the place was beautiful, it was beautiful. She had a unicorn theme, and everything was just in place. I didn't have to do anything but just go there, and she didn't have to do anything but just show up, and that's what I love. So, anytime you think about having an event and you're not good at it, please just think about hiring an event planner, someone that can take care of everything you need to get done, and all you got to do is show up. Because I'm gonna tell you, it takes a lot of stress off you, for one. When you're doing that. And I'm going to be posting all the people that I met yesterday later on the website, goodmorninggwinnett.com, so you can go check them out. So check them around 3 o'clock today to get all the websites and people that I met. You can check them out and go visit their websites, and maybe they can help you plan your event. But let me just go into this real quick. So if you're thinking about doing a collaborative partner, right, you want to make sure that it's a collaborative partnership that's going to benefit everybody that's involved. Now, here's the thing. If it's something that, a group of people gather around you and say, hey, let's get this done, and it's about you, then it's about you. But most of the time, it's not just about you. It's about all of you. And so I have the opportunity I'm in a meeting tomorrow about a collaborative venture that we had a meeting about last Wednesday. And so when I brought the project up to one person, he thought it was a great idea and he wanted to get on board, and he brought 2 more people to the table, and then I in turn brought 2 more people to the table. But it's all around this one project, right? So it's not about me, it's about this one project that everybody sees something in and they want to be a part of it, and everybody's going to benefit based on what we come up with. So you want to make sure that whatever collaborative venture that you decide to get on board with or start yourself, that it's going to benefit everybody involved. Because here's the thing, you don't want something that's all about you. If it's all about me, then people are going to start to fall off. Your collaborative partners are going to start to fall off. You're going to see that they're not working towards the project like you originally discussed. Because a lot of times you go to the meeting, everybody's excited, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And so everybody's excited in the beginning, but then when you start to see all the work that's involved, sometimes people just fall off. They just jump ship on you, and now you're left with a gap. So you want to make sure that you and your collaborative partners, are willing to make the commitment to this. It's not easy, because especially if you're working with other entrepreneurs, and they got their own business, guess what's going to happen? Their business is going to come first over any kind of collaborative effort. Because that's just normally what happens, So you got to make sure that it's something that, you want to get involved with. You got to make sure that the people if it's your venture or project, you got to make sure that the people that are getting involved with you, understand it's going to take time and commitment out of their schedule for this to be, to work out the way it's supposed to work out. You also want to make sure that you're genuine about your reasons for joining the collaboration. Because if you're not genuine, and if you're joining this collaboration because some kind of way you see a way for you to use the collaborative, partnership to, I don't know, because some people have these ill intentions, right? They know that going in, the reason we're doing this is because we're going to write this book. And we're going to write this book because we all have our businesses and we're going to market our business. But let's just say somebody in the bunch think of another thing they could be doing. I just want to get in there so I can find out, who the publisher is, so I can go in through the back door and get my own book done. And I really don't want to be a part of this, but I just want to know who the publisher is. That person right there is going to fail. That person right there is not going to be good for the collaborations. They would not, because they're not genuine. And you can't tell right off the bat who's genuine or not. But I'm telling you, if you are a person of integrity, do not join a collaborative project if you know that you're really not interested in the project. If you know that you're really not interested in the project, then don't join. Don't waste people's time. Do something else. Find your own way. Because a lot of times people join something just because they want to see how to get it done. And, I'm going to go back and I'm going to cut your head off. And I'm going to start something that, I'm going to take over what you started to do. And it's terrible. And I've seen it happen. I was just talking to a young lady here recently. And she and I have talked about this many a time. She's talked to people about things that she's doing. She bring them to the table to be a part of what she's doing. They happily sign on. And then the next thing you know, they're doing the same thing. The exact same thing. They came into the fold to find out how it's all done, because she's very thorough in what she does. And you may get a chance to talk to her. Matter of fact, she's going to be on the show on Thursday talking about protecting your brand. But she's always doing these great collaborative ventures, and people come back after they sit down and talk to her and see how everything is laid out, and then they go back and they try to start their own. That's terrible. Don't do that. Have some integrity about yourself. You know what I mean? So have some integrity. But if you want to start a collaborative venture, make sure that you're genuine. Understand that communication is very, very important. That's number 2. First, be genuine. That's number 1. These are some steps to starting a great collaborative venture. Be genuine. Have some integrity. Don't jump on board with ill intentions. That's not a good idea. You're going to bring bad karma to yourself. Don't do it. Understand that communication is very important. You can't be a part of a collaborative venture if you're not willing to communicate. You don't want to go to the meetings and everybody's talking. You're just sitting there like a bump on the log. You're there because your input is important. At least that's what you said. You want to be a part of it. So communication is very key. Bring something to the table. If you're not sure about what you have to offer, then don't come to the table. You want to bring something to the table. You don't want to raise your hand and then you have nothing to offer to offer the venture, the project. So don't raise your hand if you're not ready to bring something to the table. Don't do it. Sometimes you have to compromise. You know what I mean? So listen, if you think that you know everything and you just want everything your way, put your hand down, step away from the table. The project does not need you. You have to be willing to compromise. You have to be willing to listen to other people's ideas. You can't be the only one with ideas, even if it's your project. You brought on collaborative partners because you needed to have a sounding board, an advisory board, some team players. If you are not that person and you're not willing to compromise and it's going to be your way or the highway, step away from the table. You're not a good collaborative partner. Step away from the table. Put your hand down and back up. You need to be reliable. Don't raise your hand if you know you do not have the time to come to the meetings, to get on the webinars, to get on the phone calls. Don't do it. Don't raise your hand if you know that you have an extremely hectic schedule and you can't carve out a few hours a week to work towards this venture that you raised your hand for. Put your hand down, step away from the table. Because you need to be reliable. You need to be reliable. That's step number 4. Now, this is a biggie for me. Step number 5. Don't agree to do something that you know you really don't want to do. If you are, here's what I mean by that. So you may be good at writing, right? You may be excellent at writing, but you just may hate writing. Even though you are a great writer, people have told you you're a great writer, you just don't like to write. And then you sign up to be a part of this project, and your job in the project is to write. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to hate being a part of the project. Things are going to get written very poorly. And now everybody's going to be looking at you like you're crazy, saying, I thought that she was a great writer. Because you don't want to do it. It's like starting a business that you hate. Don't do it. Even though it's a skill set that you may have that you're really good at, but you don't like doing it, it's not going to serve anybody on the project. It's not going to serve you. So don't do that. Here's the other thing. Don't raise your hand if you can't, if you know that you have your own business and you have an ego problem and you start out doing something and then you come to the meetings and you're huffing and you're puffing and you're blowing because now you're starting to look at your own business and saying, oh my God, I should be working on my business. I should be doing my own thing. Step away from the table. Put your hand down. Kindly push back. We don't need that kind of energy when they don't need that type of energy when they're trying to do something big. If you know that you want to do your business, do your thing. Don't come to the table when you know I just want to do my business, but I don't want to be left out. But now I have committed, but I really should be focusing time on my business. Step away from the table, please. Put your hand down. Step away from the table. If you want to do your business, do your business. Don't put your hand up to become a part of this collaboration when you know you just want to do your business, but you feel like you're going to be left out of the fold if you don't put your hand up, and then you get on board and you realize I got to work towards this project that I've raised my hand for. Put your hand down, step away from the table. So those are my tips for having an effective collaboration. I looked at yesterday's event that was given by Events by Design. I looked at all of their collaborative partners. I looked at how everything was laid out. I looked at how everything flowed. It looked beautiful. I'm sure when they first started this out, it wasn't like that, because when you're starting anything, you're going to run into some bumps in the road, some kinks. You know, the chain is going to be bent up. You're going to run into those type of things. But after doing it for some years, they have a nice, well-ran system. They got great collaborative partners. They put on a beautiful event. The young lady, I think her name, it was Chelsea and Kelsey, and I talked to one of them. I talked to both of them, and I'm gonna put that video up later on. But I can't remember which one. I don't know if it was Chelsea or Kelsey. They told me, but they told me they do this event quarterly. So the collaborative partners get together quarterly and they do this event, and it's a great event with a great turnout. It was cold yesterday. It was raining. It was drab. About 150 people or more showed up. I can't imagine what the spring event is going to look like, because now you got June weddings right around the corner. And so I told her to invite me back. I'm going to get there early enough so I can set up my cameras and talk to brides, because I really want to talk to the brides and the grooms. You know, I got a chance to talk to one bride, but I want to talk to more. And I'm going to bring that footage back to Good Morning Gwinnett so you can check out what the brides had to say. I do have one bride that I talked to, and I will be putting that video up on Good Morning Gwinnett shortly. So check back later on today around 3 o'clock to get that, to check out that blog post on the site. So listen, I am done for today. I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be talking about how to set up an effective budget. With the Queen of Finance, Miss Lori Goodman. She'll be my guest tomorrow. She is a real estate investor. She's also a credit specialist. She's been helping people buy homes for about 20 years. We met in New Jersey. We've been friends for a very long time. She moved to Georgia after me, and now she's going to be coming on tomorrow to share with you how to set up an effective budget, especially if you're trying to buy a house, because you're going to need to do that. And she's going to walk you through that process tomorrow. It's a very powerful process. And a lot of people think of budget. They don't think of the right way to budget. She's going to talk about the right way to budget tomorrow. So if you want to know more about how to budget, be sure to check us out again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And we'll be happy to talk to you about that. Listen, if you like this podcast and you ever thought about having your own podcast, go to Gwinnett, goodmorninggwinnett.com, click on Start a Podcast. And I will set up a 90-minute interview with you where I walk you through how to set up your own podcast. And also, I'll be giving you a Fire TV channel for your podcast. And I don't know if I mentioned it the other day on the last episode, but Good Morning Gwinnett is now streaming on Amazon Fire TV. So if you have an Amazon Fire Stick or Amazon Fire TV, be sure to go there and install our channel on your device. Good Morning Gwinnett. Install it on your device, because we are trying to reach 1 million subscribers this year. That is a very, very lofty goal that I've set for myself. And I am constantly working towards making that happen. 1 million subscribers or 1 million downloads, or a combination of both. So help us reach that. We're going to be releasing our mobile apps pretty soon. So that's going to help us reach that goal of 1 million subscribers or 1 million downloads of this show. So make sure to check us out. If you have not already subscribed to this podcast, please do so. You can do that by going to iTunes.com. Follow us on Facebook, and follow me on Facebook. Facebook.com/Good Morning Gwinnett. Also, you can connect with me on Twitter by going to Twitter.com. I'm at GM Gwinnett. That stands for Good Morning, because Good Morning Gwinnett was too long. So it's GM Gwinnett at GM Gwinnett. GM Gwinnett, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, that's it for now. Thank you again for checking us out. I'll be back again tomorrow, God willing, with another great episode with you about, what's happening around Gwinnett, amazing people and things that I found out, and also bringing you help for small businesses who are looking to start and grow their business. Entrepreneurship is my passion, along with podcasting. So I am honored to be able to use this platform to help small businesses grow their business. That's why I talk so much about business on the show, because I understand the plight of starting and growing a business. I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years, and if you're not out there marketing your business and telling people what you do, then you're really not in business, because you're not making any sales. I had to learn that the hard way in the early days. Now I know, and now I'm sharing that information with you. So any way that I can help you grow your business, shoot me an email, audrey@goodmorninggwinnett.com, and I'll be happy to sit down and talk to you about, what you can do to move your business forward. But in the meantime, just stay tuned to the show. I'm here every morning, Monday through Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 9 a.m., Thursday, 11 a.m., and I'll be back again tomorrow with another episode. So listen, you have a great day, and until next time, make it a great day.
You've been listening to Good Morning Gwinnett. Make sure to tune in daily at 9 a.m. Eastern Time to find out what's happening around Gwinnett. If you miss an episode, go to www.goodmorninggwinnett.com to catch up. If you like this episode, go ahead and subscribe to the show now and share it with your friends.